All right, good morning, everybody. I think it's about 10 o'clock, so we're going to get started. Welcome and thank you for coming. I'm Leslie Barry, and this is my son,
Jax.
And thank you for coming. We are Gluten-Free Finds, and thank you. You've registered this morning for our session, Gluten-Free Cooking with Kids. So before I tell you what we're going to be doing this morning, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about us and how we got here today. Jax was diagnosed with celiac disease just about 2 years ago, when he was 5.5. You can tell them something, sure. What do you want to say, Jax?
If you're not a follower of our blog, Gluten-Free Finds, please do that when we're done.
Yep, so our blog, we started a blog when Jax was diagnosed with celiac disease. It's mainly on Instagram. It's called Gluten-Free Finds _PA. And the idea was we were trying so many different new products when Jax was diagnosed to try and find the products that Jax liked best. What kind of bread did he like best? What kind of gluten-free pasta did he like best? And we were doing so much experimenting, and we thought that other people might benefit from what we were finding to be Jax's favorite products. So we started an Instagram account and started sharing some of our favorites, gluten-free finds and gluten-free products. And it grew and grew and grew from there. And we're just having so much fun with it. It's been almost 2 years. And so please go and follow us if you're not following along already. In days before COVID, we also are sharing travel tips and restaurant reviews and lots of things like that. And we have so much fun. And we've also been having a ton of fun in the kitchen, which is why we're here today. I think we've got over 500 people registered. So thank you guys so much for your support. We're so excited. And we're going to be doing some gluten-free cooking demos today. And one of the things is Jax has gotten really involved in the kitchen. With me. So he's had so much fun getting involved in cooking, and I think that's one of the great things is to get the kids involved with the gluten-free cooking, get them to try new things and get involved in the kitchen. And so we have 2 fun recipes for you today. One is going to be gluten-free pizza pockets, and the other one is going to be a fun gluten-free dessert. So Jack's going to tell them what we're making.
So we're making pizza pockets.
I'll show them what it's going to look like when it's done.
Yep.
Hold that up.
And it might ooze out a little, which happens most of the time.
So we'll get to some tips on that in a few minutes. All right, so today we've got, we use some Chibi pizza dough to make this, and let me tell you a little bit about the products that we're using. So this is Chibi. If you haven't used this or you're not familiar, Chibi is a brand. They make a whole bunch of gluten-free products. I'm going to hold this up a little bit closer. C-H-E-B-E, Chibi. You should definitely check them out. This is their pizza crust mix, which we're using today. And they also make, I have some of their other products here. They make a cheese bread, and they make a cinnamon bun mix. They make a focaccia mix, which we make. They have about 6 or 8 products in all. And they are not only gluten-free, they're nut-free, they are very allergy-friendly. If you look on the side here, they're corn-free, rice-free, soy-free. So these are great products if you're not familiar. You can buy them on Amazon. You can also buy them on their website. And they have a great deal that I love to tell people about who haven't tried their products. For the first time, they have a deal. You can pick any 2 of their products that you want. So mix and match any 2 products. And you can buy them for $11.49, which includes the shipping. So it's a great deal to try them if you haven't already. And we've had fun. We've tried their focaccia. We've tried their cheese bread mix, a bunch of their products. But today we're working with their pizza crust mix, and it smells so good because it has oregano mixed into the dough. So I've already mixed up the dough this morning just to save us a little bit of time. So this is what the ball of dough looks like right here. And we're going to start rolling that out to make our pizza pockets this morning. So here you go, Jax, on the rolling pin. Get this bowl out of the way. So again, really fun, really easy, simple projects that you can get kids involved with in the kitchen. This is a really easy dough. It's very soft. It's definitely a little bit sticky and gets your hands messy, but very fun for the kids to get involved with. And again, it smells so good right now. You can just smell the seasonings and the oregano that's in the crust. Jax is rolling it out here, and then I'm going to show you how we're going to make the pizza pockets. And if you have any questions, by the way, I want to mention, type them into the chat. I'll probably get to them at the end. So I'm a little bit of distance away from the computer, and I can see a few people saying hi and where they're from. So again, hi, welcome to those that are just joining us, and we'll definitely answer any questions at the end. And for those, again, just joining us on Leslie, this is Jax and her gluten-free finds. Jax is doing a great job here rolling out the pizza crust. So again, anything you can do to get the kids involved in the kitchen, let them help, let them get their hands dirty and messy, makes it very fun for them to get them involved in the process. How you doing there, Jax?
Good.
And I do on our blog, I think we made these back earlier in the summer in June or July, so I do have a whole blog entry.
That is correct.
Yeah. Can I help you roll this out a little bit there? So I do have a whole blog entry on our Instagram account back from June or July with instructions on making these as well. Oh, and the other thing I wanted to mention is we do have recipe downloads. I think if you're watching this, and by the way, my understanding is these videos are going to stay live for about 6 months on the Nourish Festival site, but there are recipe downloads for both of the recipes that we're going to make today. There's a PDF sheet that you can download, and so you'll be able to download the recipe. So it has the recipe with the ingredients that you'll need. You'll see some tools I'll be using today. I have links to those tools on Amazon, which I'll be talking about in a minute. So it has tools, links to those, and recipe and instructions to everything you'll be needing. So I'm gonna roll this out a little bit thinner. And this recipe makes about 8 of the pizza pockets. These were a hit with our whole family. We make them and eat them for dinner. They can be great for lunch. They can also be reheated easily in the toaster oven. Just gonna roll this out here a little bit thinner. Let's see. I don't know that this cutting board that I have is quite big enough, but I'm trying to roll it out as thin as the cutting board. And then I'll hold it up and show you what it looks like. It'll be stuck to the cutting board pretty well. You wanna help me? Because I'm gonna hold it up even closer so see if you guys can see the herbs that are in this pizza dough. You see all the little green speckles? Those are all the oregano that I'm smelling. That smells so good. I do see a question as I'm leaning over. It says, where can you buy these mixes? You can buy them on Amazon, and you can also buy them on Chibi's site as well. So Amazon, I think, sells an 8-pack. You can either buy 8 packs of one mix, or there's also I think there's a combination mix that includes one of each type of their mixes that they offer. All right, so now that we've rolled it out, what we're going to do, and I don't know if I rolled it out thin enough to make 8 of these today, but that's okay. We just want to show you what to do. We're going to start putting our cheese and sauce. If you do follow me on Instagram, or if you don't start following me, you'll soon find out what I always use for sauce and cheese. Because they're marked gluten-free, I always use Prego sauce and Borden cheese. I love these because they're marked gluten-free. All right, so we're going to start with the sauce, and we're just going to put little dollops of sauce around the dough. So you want to do this, Jax? Yeah. Okay. Just put the spoon in. Go ahead. Put the spoon in. Take a spoonful of sauce and just make some little spoonfuls of. Yep, and spread them out. And only on half of the dough, because we need half of the dough to make the other, to cover them up. So we don't put too much. You don't want them to be too full, and you also don't want them to explode, as Jack mentioned, in the oven, which did happen to the one I made earlier. If you overcook them too long, or if they're not fully sealed, they'll explode a little bit, which is okay. It just makes a little bit of a mess, but they still taste good. All right, so I'm gonna try and make about 5 of these, I think, right now. See if we can squeeze 5 of them on here. I didn't roll the dough out that thin. So again, I'm going to try and lift this up and see if I can show you without the sauce running all over. It's a little bit hard, but so I kind of spread out the dollops of the sauce around here. And sorry if it's a little bit hard, just to move the sauce strip off. And the next thing you would do is take the cheese, and again, I'm just using Borden shredded mozzarella cheese. And I'll just take that a little bit and put more than that, Jax, a little bit, a little handful of cheese on top of the sauce here. So you're basically making the filling now. If you wanted to, you could put something else in. We've just done sausage cheese, but you could certainly put a piece of pepperoni in there, or put some vegetable fillings, or whatever you like to put in your pizza. That's what you could do. You don't want to make them too full though, because you just don't want it to explode too much in the oven. You put a little more cheese on that one, Jax. That one could have a little bit more cheese.
Yeah.
And one thing I'm going to do right now is I'm going to grab a pizza cutter just to cut the dough so we can cut the dough and put the other part on top. All right, see if you can cut the pizza right there in a straight line. All right, so we're cutting the dough, so we have the other piece that we didn't put the sauce and the cheese. This is kind of sticky. Maybe I should have done it on some parchment paper. But you can really fold the other piece on top. This is really sticky. I should have either put some flour down or some or some parchment paper. No, working. I may have to roll this piece out again on some parchment paper.
Yeah, that's
All right.
a better idea.
That's what I'm gonna do. Got some parchment paper right here. So that is sticking to the cutting board. So I'm just gonna get a piece of parchment paper here. So like I said, it's super sticky, so we're getting a little bit sticky and messy, but
I'm
that's
gonna
okay.
go
You're gonna
wash
wash
my
your
hands.
hands? All
I
right.
don't want to.
Yeah, so you're gonna wash your hands. So while he's doing that, I will roll this out. A piece of parchment paper. And then we'll lay this over the top. I need a little bit extra dough from this part. So you'll see in a minute the tool I'm going to use to make these. I'll show you. This is a tool. It's from Pampered Chef, but I do buy it on Amazon, and there's a link to that in the recipe. And it's actually an Uncrustable tool. I bought it to make Uncrustable sandwiches for Jax because, like most kids, he doesn't like to eat the crust of the bread on his sandwiches. So we make Uncrustable sandwiches. I don't know if any of you have done that before. And then somehow it just dawned on me that I had the idea that I could use this same tool to make these little pizza pockets. And it worked really well. And there's another tool. You can buy this on Amazon. I have a link to it. Like I said, it is by Pampered Chef, but you can buy it on Amazon. And then there's another tool that I haven't tried yet. There's the plastic version that you can also find on Amazon. It's not made by Pampered Chef, but there's a plastic version. It's supposed to be similar and work well also. All right, now hopefully this will come up. Yeah, this is coming right up. I did it on the parchment paper, so that is working much better. So now I'm going to lay this down on top of the other piece that I have. All right. You can help cut it. Hold on one second. Let me just stretch this out over the other piece and let me just show everybody what it looks like, all right? So let's move the parchment paper. And I'm just going to hold it up again so everyone can see. So now we've got, basically, I don't know if you can see the little lumps under here. So we've got the piece of dough with the sauce and cheese on top, and then the other piece of dough on top. All right, now we're not going to cut it with a pizza cutter. We're going to use the Uncrustable tool. So now we've got to go where the little lumps are, okay? Now we've got this Uncrustable tool. And so basically what it is a little tool with a spring here. And so you put it over, it's almost like a cookie cutter. You put it on top, you push it like a cookie cutter, and then you press the spring down, and it's going to seal it up, all right?
How
So
about you go wash your hands?
I cut it. I'm going to get sticky again and take these off. But all right, so we push it down like a cookie cutter, push the spring down. These are sticky. Let me show you one other thing. I've got my tray here, and I've got this great round pizza tray. So I invested in this. I think it was from Home Goods or TJ Maxx. It was $12 or $13, but I love this pizza tray. It's got little holes in it. Bless you, Jen. It's great for cooking pizza. All right, so let's see how this came out. Again, this is a little sticky, so I'm going to push it like a cookie cutter. This show is extra sticky today. Oops. Uh-oh. I think we should have done the whole thing on parchment paper. All right, well, this one is coming out. So this is kind of what it looks like. Again, they're a little sticky today, but I'm going to place it down on here. Now, if the edges are not fully sealed in some spots, you might want to take a fork and notch it around the edges, just so they're fully sealed so they don't explode in the oven. Do you want to get a fork? Okay, that's great. I'm gonna work on the next one. Like I said, I probably shouldn't have used the cutting board today. I probably should have just done the whole thing on parchment paper, and then because now it's having sticking to the cutting board a little bit. It's also sticking to the Pampered Chef tool, which I don't remember having that problem the last time I made them. So let's see. It's sticking to the tool. The dough just seems extra sticky today. Jax is going to take them over here and try and press around the edges to seal them up a little bit. So it definitely didn't quite happen like this last time. I think some of it is definitely my cutting board. So they're definitely coming out not the prettiest today. But Jax is going to help me seal up the edges. Let me see if there's some other questions. Not the last question. Looks like was where you can buy the mixes, which I think I answered. So if there are any other questions, just pop them in. So this is just like if you're making any pastry, if you've ever made homemade Pop-Tarts or any kind of pastry with a filling and you go around the edges pressing with a fork. That's what Jax is doing now off to the side here to try and seal up any of the parts that didn't seal. All right, this one looks like it's coming out a little bit better, but the dough definitely seems a little bit sticky today. There's this one. All right, so you guys get the idea. So I think we're going to finish these later. I'm going to wash my hands, and then we're going to show you again what the finished product looks like. And I think Jax is he wanted to take a bite and taste it. So hold on 1 second while I wash my hands. Jax, why don't you bring that one over and sit in front of the camera and show the audience what the finished one looks like.
So on this side it oozed out a lot, but on this side just a little drop of sauce.
Yeah, so unfortunately this morning there was a little hole that I didn't seal. Here, Jax, stand in front of the camera. There's a little hole that I didn't seal, but a little bit oozed out, but that's okay. The other thing is I baked it according to the instructions on the box. So I had preheated the oven to 450. I did bake it for a lot less time though. I think according to the box, it was baked for 15 to 18 minutes. I set the timer for 12 or 13 minutes and I looked in at around 11 minutes. It looked like it was done. So you definitely want to keep an eye on the pizza. And around 11 minutes, it looked like it was done, and I took it out, especially when I saw that some of the sauce and cheese was oozing out. All right, so Jax wants to take a bite of it. He wants to tell you guys how it is. He enjoyed these the last time we made it. This one's been sitting out for a while, so it may not be so warm. How is it, buddy? He's got a mouthful. All right, well, this is his mid-morning snack, but I have a feeling we'll be eating the rest of these for lunch or dinner today. So if there are any other questions about that, again, let us know. And let's see, where can you buy the cheap mixes? That was the last question. Still reading the same one. All right, so I'm going to put all of this to the side, and we are going to now get set up for our dessert presentation, our dessert cooking demo. Again, let us know if you have any questions about the pizza pockets. All right, so for dessert, we've got something really fun for you. And I don't really have a name for these, but I guess we just call them chocolate-covered Rice Krispie treats. As most of you probably know, especially if you've been on the gluten-free journey for a while, regular Rice Krispie treats, obviously regular Rice Krispies are not gluten-free. But we've found a great substitute for Rice Krispie treats. Obviously, there are a lot of Jax is going to continue with his morning snack while I'm talking. There are a lot of substitutes for Rice Krispie cereal versions of it that, of course, are gluten-free. And there is a company called Sweet Street Desserts out of Reading, Pennsylvania. So I think I mentioned that our name is Gluten Free Friends PA, but I did not tell you guys that we're in the suburbs of Philadelphia, about 20 minutes outside of Philadelphia. And there's a company in Reading, Pennsylvania called Sweet Street Desserts, and they make these chewy marshmallow bars. I'm going to hold them up a little bit closer. They're gluten-free. They call them chewy marshmallow bars. So it's basically a gluten-free version of a Rice Krispie treat. They make several desserts. Some are gluten-free, some are not. But they have 3 great gluten-free products. One is this. They also make a gluten-free chocolate chip cookie and a gluten-free brownie. And these are delicious. You'll sometimes find them in bookstores like a Barnes & Noble or something like that, but you can also order them on their website. You can order them by the dozen, like a box of 10 or 12 or something like that. And they're delicious, they're soft, and they're chewy. And we're going to use them as the base for this fun dessert we're going to make. And of course, this dessert we're going to make, you could also make homemade Rice Krispie treats as well, with whatever cereal of your choosing. And then you could go on to make the dessert. And then the chocolate that we're going to use for our dessert is Enjoy Life chocolate. Enjoy Life, if you're not familiar, is they're a big sponsor of the Nourish Festival, and they make many items. They're all top 8 allergy-free, top 8 allergen-free. So they are a great company for not only gluten-free, but all other people with top 8. Top 8. Jeff's gonna go wash his hands before we make the dessert. They make great allergy-friendly products. We love them because they're gluten-free. They make chocolate chips, so they make cookies. They make one of Jax's favorite snack bars that he loves to eat every day called the Coco Loco snack bars. They make some chips, they make cookies, and we're going to be using their chocolate today to make these desserts. And the end product is going to be what we call these chocolate-covered Rice Krispie treats. And these are a really fun dessert. I made some yesterday just so we would have some finished products to show you. We've made them before, and these are a fun dessert you can start at a party. You can cover them with any kind of sprinkles. These have white chocolate shavings on them, and they're just fun. You can serve them at a party. You can make them for a bake sale. They're just really fun. You could use different color sprinkles for a seasonal item. So if you're doing a Halloween party, you could make them with orange sprinkles, or for Valentine's Day, you could put red and white sprinkles. And so we're going to show you how to make those today. While I go heat up the chocolate, Jax is going to show you the different kinds of Enjoy Life chocolate chips. We make 3 kinds of chips. Today we're using the mega chunks, but he's going to tell you all the different kinds while I go get the chocolate ready for our dessert.
The thing I like to do.
Yeah, Jax is going to tell you why he likes to do it. The Enjoy Life chocolate chips. Go ahead, sit on your stool. Tell them about the different chips.
So, one, there's dark chocolate chips. 2, there is and then what I like to do is these are semi
Really loud, like the microwave though.
These are semi-sweet mega chunks. I like to do with the semi-sweet mini chips. When I have waffles, because they are in the waffles, we put these in those little.
And what happens when the waffles are hot and you put the chips in?
They melt, but like hold their position and forces it to turn into lava again. Or mush.
What I did was I took a bowl, and when you're melting chocolate chips, I just melt them in 30-second intervals. So I'd melt them for 30 seconds, give them a stir. This only took about a minute. So I did 30 seconds, gave them a stir, another 30 seconds, gave them another stir, and they're this consistency. They're ready to go. So these are all melted. All right, so this is ready to dip the treat in.
You might just want to take some off the screen.
Yeah, excuse me for 1 second. There's something close off the screen. It's blocking my view. Said my microphone was noisy, but I think it was just the microwave. we're going to move these extra chips out of the way. The other thing, these Rice Krispie treats they're pretty big. So usually I can take one of them and cut them up into 6 or 8 bite-sized pieces to make these treats that we're making. I'll cut it because it's a pretty sharp knife. It just doesn't want to open.
So, wait, as you can see here, it's marshmallow too.
Let's hold it really closely. They're big chunks of marshmallows. Can you see those big chunks of marshmallows? So we love, I don't want to block it, we love these Rice Krispie treats.
And you can cut them about into 8 small squares.
So I'm going to cut these up into little squares for dipping into the chocolate. There's something else that I linked when you download the recipe. It's a chocolate dipping tool that I bought on Amazon. And it's great for dipping in chocolate because it lets the chocolate drip off. And I'm also going to set up a piece of parchment paper. One other thing I want to show you guys, I love these Reynolds cookie baking sheet parchment paper. Instead of using a big roll of parchment paper where it's all curled up, these are flat sheets of parchment paper that are already cut to the size of a cookie tray. So I love using these. They're just easy, especially when you're baking cookies because they're already cut to the size of a cookie sheet. But I'm going to use them today just to put these on after they're dipped in the chocolate. And then I also got these bamboo sticks. You can also use toothpicks or popsicle sticks or anything you'd like for sticks for these treats. And then Jack's going to show them the chocolate dipping tool.
So this is the end you dip it with, and then on this end you can hang it because there's a little
maybe you can hang it from
circle.
Let me just show this a little closer. So this, it's hard to see because it's so thin, but it's a chocolate dipping tool. And so when you dip it in the chocolate, then the chocolate can drip off. All right, so we're going to take the first little square of Rice Krispie treat that we made, and we're going to dip it into the bowl of chocolate, kind of roll it around in there. You guys can see what I'm doing. I'll hold it up a little bit, dip it around in there. And then you can pick it up so the chocolate can, all the extra chocolate can kind of drip off. And then what we forgot to do is get all of our toppings ready, Jack.
So I'm gonna show them.
Here, I'll show them some of the toppings. So we got some plates out, and you can put any kind of, like I said, the sprinkles or whatever kind of toppings you want to use to dip.
We have these.
So this is just some colored sugar, and a lot of times I'll use Betty Crocker. Betty Crocker sprinkles and toppings are gluten-free. I also found these Nestle Toll House chocolate curls. They come in white chocolate and dark chocolate. I'll put them out on a plate and I'll show them to you. So the white chocolate shows up really nice. Here, that's what it shows up really nice on the chocolate. So these are white chocolate shavings. And so they show up really nice on chocolate, or if you were using white chocolate to dip, you could use the chocolate curls. So we've got some white chocolate shavings, Josh.
And then we have this, but we might run out.
These are non-Perels, or you could just use colored sprinkles. So sometimes it's fun to use something colorful, or just something like I was saying, seasonal. So we'll pour some of these out on the plate. And then let's see how we can just dip them around.
The red stuff.
And we do the red sugar also.
So I'm gonna do it like this half time.
It's gonna come out slowly with the cap.
How about we take this off?
So that's good. All right, so we've got 3 plates here with different toppings. All right, so once the chocolate, the Rice Krispie treat is dipped, then that's when I'll usually take one of the skewers and stick it in. Let all the chocolate drip off, and then this one's not so straight. And then you can dip it into your different toppings. So Jackson's going to do red sugar on his. You can dip all the 4 sides, you can dip the bottom, however you want to do it. And I'll start the next Rice Krispie treat, dipping it around in the chocolate.
Yeah.
Are you all done? And just put it on here to dry on the parchment paper. And then often when these are done, I'll put them on a plate and put them in the refrigerator just to speed up the drying process. And then before you serve them, you want to take them out about an hour or so before. So otherwise, you don't want them to be rock hard when you're serving them, people to bite into them. Rock hard here, I did one. Let's see, I did one with the nonpareils. You'll see it's very colorful. You can see. And just stand them up to dry. Do another one, Jax?
Yeah, but a tip: don't put shavings on the bottom when you do shaving.
Because it's hard. Yeah, it's hard to make it stand, right?
We tried that, but it didn't work so well.
So if you do chocolate shavings, you just do them around the side. You want to do one with chocolate shavings and show them? You want me to do it? Okay, so you just dip it in and everything kind of sticks. So you can see what I'm doing here. So just kind of dip it around the side and it sticks. Jack says don't do the bottom with the shavings because it won't stand up. And there you go. So that's really it. That's our simple dessert. It's really easy. You can make them in 5 or 10 minutes. Have a quick dessert. It looks beautiful to serve when you're having guests over. Like I said, for a party, kids love it. I've done these for a bake sale. Just really fun seasonal dessert. Super simple. So are there any other questions that anyone has? Feel free to type them in the chat. All right, I don't see any questions coming in. I don't think there are any other questions. I appreciate everybody joining us. And please follow us on Instagram if you're not already following us. Again, it's glutenfreefinds_PA. We've got a Facebook page. We've also got a new YouTube channel, Gluten Free Finds. We've just got a few videos up there so far, but we're going to be putting this one up there as well. This will stay on the Nourish Channel's website for about 6 months. I want to really thank the Nourish Festival for putting on such a great event in light of everything that's gone on in the last couple of months and them having to cancel all of their festivals in person, which I know has been so disappointing for them and for all of the vendors. I want to thank them for working so hard, putting on such a great event, getting such a great panel of speakers from all over the country and great exhibitors for working so hard. I know they've been working night and day to put this together. Thank you so much for having us. Where can you buy the mixes? No, another question was coming in. Let's see if there's anything else in the chat. Looks like something was popping up, but I don't see anything else. All right, well, please follow us, follow along. We love sharing our gluten-free products and finds with you. And thank you again for joining in this morning. Jax, you want to take a bite of one of these? I usually let you eat this in the morning.
Okay.
Jax lost his front teeth a couple weeks ago, so I don't know how much he's going to be able to bite into this, but let's see if he can. I'm sure he can find a way. There we go. All right. All right, have a sweet morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.